coming up. So I heard you're going to be a mother. Yes, sir, that's right. So I heard teen parenting can be hard, and that's basically right because, you're young, you haven't experienced life yet, etc. You're right, sir. So was this planned or how did this happen? You see, I wanted to get my noodle wet, sir. Shoto, no, that's not what happened. And wrong show. This is not 16 and pregnant. Oh yeah. So what actually happened was, I wanted to know how babies were made. I asked our teacher, Mr. Aizawa, but he didn't want to tell me. I asked Miss Midnight, which is also one of our teachers or was at the time, didn't want to tell me. So I asked Momo because she's really smart and I've been isolated all my life, so I don't basically know the basic things a human being needs to know. Wait a minute, what? Well, you see, I liked him for a while now, and things started to get intimate. And so I taught him or showed him what to do, and that's how I became pregnant. So you're telling me this was like a science project? Well, no, I wanted to have a child, just to rub it into my father's face that I could be a better father than he was. Shoto. Oh, shit. Damn. Wow, Shoto has game that I didn't even know about. Okay, and how are you going to provide for the baby? Oh, we're gonna get a nanny. And you said you wanted to be a better father than your father was, correct? Yes, sir. I know you're rich, but Enji, your son has to take responsibility, not someone else. Why else would I have abused him in the past? You don't abuse your children just to get their senses straight. You talk to them what's right versus wrong, and this is apparently wrong. But sir, don't but sir me. You got your girlfriend pregnant, and you need to take responsibility. I mean, yeah, but it'd be best to have a nanny in this type of situation because my friend that you mentioned earlier, Izuku Midoriya? Yes, what about him? Well, his girlfriend, Uraraka, got him broke from her OnlyFans. OnlyFans is this website that, know what it is. Continue. And so, we're thinking that we should hire his mother, because she's a stay-at-home mom, while his dad is on business trips. So, with extra income for his mom to help pay for child support towards him and Uraraka. We're talking about you here, not them. These kids don't know how to take responsibility for their actions. Can we please talk about Uraraka and Deku? No, like I said, this is about you and your family, not them. But sir, don't but sir me. Anyways, for Yumi, I heard that you're a teacher? That's correct, sir. And what made you want to be a teacher? To help other kids, which are my students, with their quirks, and never give up on them, like my father did, on Toya. I trained him well enough. Shut up. Continue? Serves you right. Shh. Zip it. Again, continue? I don't know what there is more to say, but like I was saying, I want my students to improve on their quirks, even if their quirks aren't compatible, or if they're super powerful, that I help them the best I can of how to control it, and train them all the way, without giving up. I see. But what inspired you to do that? Because clearly your father didn't do what you just said. Well, I guess it was Toya. Because I didn't want anybody to suffer how he did. Like the night where he raged and presumably thought that he was dead, I decided I was going to become a teacher so no one would have to experience that, nor lose a sibling or a child. And I'm glad that Toya is actually alive today. Damn. Fumi. Toya. Oh shit. I joined the League of Villains to not feel alone, 'cause everyone there was neglected like me from their family. And I gained friends there. Nobody understood us but only us, 'cause some of us villains wanted to be heroes one day, but without the help and encouragement, it led us to bad choices. Killing people, making others suffer the way we did. I felt free. I felt free and not a burden anymore after joining the League of Villains. Toya, I didn't know you were suffering that much. Typical Endeavor. He knew I was suffering from the eternal burns, but I still wanted to train, just to impress you, to let you know that I wanted to surpass All Might, just so you could be proud of me. But you did know, because you ignored me, made all of us suffer from your abuse. Were you satisfied? Were you satisfied with the results? That you ended up with Shoto? You think I wanted that life? I didn't ask to be the perfect child. I wanted to go play with you guys when you guys were outside, but Father wouldn't let me. You know how hurt I felt? You guys lived up to normal lives, but I was isolated, except Toya until his breaking point. See now, aren't you glad that you let that out, instead of holding it in? I'm not talking about Uraraka and Deku. I was over it, and started to love myself, through the help of my friends at UA, until Toya had to mention me like I asked to be a perfect child. Like, Toya, let me ask you this. Have you ever been punched in the stomach? Have you ever puked from a whole fist hitting you in the stomach? I don't know, but that's nothing compared to feeling your limbs falling apart in certain parts of your body. Have you experienced that? I don't think so. My pain was worse. I don't even remember who stitched me back up, but I'm glad they did, because apparently if I was not alive today, no one would know Endeavor's past of what he did to us. And if you suffered that bad than I did, then why didn't you tell the news what Endeavor did to you and the rest of our family? Huh? Because I still lived with him. I hated him after that day when he sent Mom to the mental hospital and I refused to use my right side, which I've explained already on here. So he knew I wasn't gonna listen to him, even from the abuse. So I'm glad he sent me to school finally, where teachers could help me improve without beatings. At that time, I didn't need any distractions like friends, because that would make Dad angry, because he wanted me to focus on training just to surpass All Might. You know how hard that was? People would want to talk to me, but I would ignore them or be harsh to them. I'd be just like Dad. I kept telling myself I'm not like him, I'm not like him, but he wanted me to be like him, like a mini version of him. So I studied hard, just to be recommended to UA, and for once he was proud of me. And then came the sports festival, and that's where Izuku Midoriya comes into the picture of how he changed me. Of what the doctor said earlier to what Midoriya said to me that day. Later on I found out that he encountered Dad after what he told me of after I activated my quirk on my right side, and Dad shouted my name in excitement for finally using my right side after thinking it was a rebellious phase. He kept wanting me to use it ever since that day when I refused to use it through middle school, and then I finally used it at the sports festival. Yeah, I'm surprised Midoriya wasn't scared of Father. He just spoke his mind about my quirk being my own and not his. I'm just rambling now. It just seems like to me that I am, because this stuff is already on the internet. So if anybody else wants to know about my story, it's on there, including Toya's. So can we please bring Midoriya and Uraraka on the show now? Because I'm tired of talking about my childhood trauma and everyone else's trauma. I think we've discussed enough. No, because this is my show. And when I think we discussed enough, I'll say when we discussed enough. And sit your little behind. Now sit your butt down on the seat and relax. I didn't even ask to be here. But what I'm wondering is, why didn't your other siblings call out to the news and tell their story before this? I don't know, ask them. Probably because we moved on with our lives and we're done with all the drama and didn't want to relive the trauma that we went through from our past. Like we went our separate ways. Fuyumi and I stayed and lived with Dad. Mom was still at the mental hospital. Natsuo in college. We were apart. So nothing seemed to be addressed because the past is in the past and we can't change anything from what happened in the past to make it better now, I guess. Then Toya, after the training camp incident, I believed he was dead too until I encountered Dobby, because no one outside of the school knew my name. And Dad encountered Dobby with the Nomu incident, or after the incident, when he mentioned my father's real name. And no one outside of our family knew his name, besides All Might, I think, and his past classmates at UA when he went there. Like, how stupid can you be, Father? Like, that you didn't know it was me. Shoto caught on, especially the blue flames, like, bruh, everyone else on the internet knew everyone's theories. I gave subtle hints, but you were clueless. I think that's because you're only thinking about yourself, not wanting to be killed, because you wanted to show everyone else that you can be the best hero ever. And All Might. So when you heard me say your name, you probably thought we had a hacker at the League of Villains. But no. Like I said, I thought you were dead. I thought someone was impersonating you, or something, because I heard All For One could steal people's quirks and put them into Nomus. Or that surgical doctor that's crazy in our world can just patch up someone like they never died or something. And I thought that's what happened. Yeah, no.